Hey everyone, Regal Reviews here. It's time for my The Good Doctor recap. So, this was I guess you wouldn't technically call it the spring premiere of The Good Doctor. It basically, leaves off where we saw last time how, Sean, well, he didn't really assault Glassman, but pushed him away because Sean was stressed and he wants to be able to make his own decisions, but Glassman just refused to listen to Sean and doesn't think he can make his own decisions. So he went to his friend Leah for help, and Glassman goes to Leah's house wondering where's Sean. He knows he's here, and Leah's saying he's not here, he's not here. Well, Glassman just invites himself in. He just pushes through her door and goes and starts searching for everyone. I'm like, dude, what the hell? She can call the cops on you like any second. And Leah does threaten that. I mean, what right did he have to break into her house? And turns out Sean was there. He was hiding in this this bed. I guess you pushed this out and it turned into a second bed, and I guess he was hiding in there. So Leah decides to take Sean on a road trip. And I actually think it's good for Sean because after everything that's happened, I feel like the best thing for him is to, be able to relax and clear his head a little bit. And, and we see that Sean had some revelations on this trip. At one point, he actually shares with Leah what happened to his brother, and that's huge because that's something very personal that happened to Sean. And let me look at my notes here. Leah actually lets Sean drive, and he's never driven before, and he seems like he enjoys it, but he says he never learned how to drive because Glassman didn't really think that he should drive. And Leah, like myself, and I'm sure many fans, are getting sick of Glassman putting down Sean. Like, even when he broke into Leah's apartment, when Leah said that she was going to call the cops, he was saying, "You hear that, Sean? She's going to basically he was saying to Sean that he was calling that she was going to call the cops because of Sean, when that's not the case. It's the fact that you just broke into her house." So she teaches him to drive, but they end up in this muddy ditch. I think it was just muddy. It's hard to get out. And he is freaking out because he hit somebody. I mean, I'd be freaking out. That's the first time I drive and that happens. And Leah is able to calm him down, and they actually go and have drinks, and they actually get drunk and sing karaoke. I think it was so fun that, Sean has a friend and he's able to let loose of her. And he let Leah know some personal information about him, and vice versa. Leah let Sean know about her job, that she's an automotive engineer, and that she's not happy in her current job, and she wishes it would change. And the next morning when they wake up, she can't find Sean and is wondering where he could possibly be. And they have breakfast, and she reveals to Sean that she wants to quit her job and move to Hershey, Pennsylvania to work in, I guess it's what she was describing as her grandfather's old shop. She got her grandfather's car. I guess her brother got the garage. And it was very heartbreaking because you see how fun Sean's having with Leah, and he really has a true friend in Leah, and the second he does, it's taken away from him. And he actually had a very big moment for Sean. He actually had his first kiss with Leah, and he was very happy about it, and he actually wanted to kiss her again. And I would be heartbroken too if I just had my first kiss and I finally have a friend who accepts me for who I am, because Leah, for all we knew these past 10, 11 episodes, didn't know Sean has autism. But at one point during this episode, she does mention the fact that Sean has autism. So Leah still treated him like she would anybody else. And that's really big, because I know from my experience, when I tell people that I have Asperger's, people tend to treat me differently. They'll treat me like like they would anybody else at first when they meet me, but then as soon as I say I have Asperger's, then they suddenly treat me differently and they treat me like dirt then. So yeah, that had to be hard for Sean. Well, I guess I can't even say I can't imagine. I could imagine, because I know what he's going through. So now we have to wait for next week to see what exactly happens with that situation. The patients this week were actually quite interesting. They had a pair of conjoined twins who needed a kidney transplant, and it was perfect because they're identical twins. But it made it more complicated because they're conjoined by the head. And there was a little complication with the kidney surgery, but one of the twins ends up going into, I think, a heart failure, that she would need a new heart. And that made me wonder, if she died, what would happen to her surviving twin? Would they just cut them in where they're conjoined? I don't know how that situation would work, but they had planned to separate. They had this whole surgery planned for 6 months down the line to separate, but now it's a matter of life or death for both of them if they don't separate. And they consulted with them, and they at first agreed to it, but one of the twins doesn't want to go through with the surgery, I think because of the fear, obviously. But she talks to Claire because they think Claire can convince them to go through with the surgery. She says to Claire, what if this is who we're meant to be? And Claire convinces them that they can be their own person, and they actually successfully are able to separate them. So that was great. And then they're also dealing with Dr. Coyle, who sexually harassed Claire, and I always forget his name. I'm just gonna call him Justin. Her boyfriend pushed him against the wall in lockers and threatened him, and he ended up getting fired for it. And he wants his job back, and he actually went to Coyle and apologized for everything, and he wants his job back, and Coyle's well, that's not my problem. He's just an arrogant ass. And then Claire actually confronts him, saying that she's going to make it her mission to find every person he sexually harassed and to ruin his career if he doesn't bring Justin back. And sure enough, Andrews gives him a call that Coyle was true to his word, saying that he would recommend to reinstate Justin's position, but Andrews decides to not reinstate him because he thinks that physical harm is just something that he can't tolerate. So yeah, it's very interesting. I'm wondering if that's it for him, or he's just going to get his job back. I'm wondering what's going to go on next week, because the previews show that Sean's at a crossroads, because we see him going back to the hospital, and we know he loves his job there, but he also has Leah now. He also has a crush and love interest in Leah, maybe potential girlfriend for him, and he wants to follow her. And I guess Glassman doesn't want him to go, but Sean needs to make his own decisions. And even Andrews said to Glassman basically that he needs to make his own decisions and you need to let him fail. Well, I wouldn't say let him fail, but, let him succeed or fail on his own. Like, he can't protect him forever. So, yeah, this is definitely a great show. I was so glad that this is back this week. It's a bit painful for me to watch at times just because what Sean goes through is similar to what I've went through and continue to go through. It's always a struggle when you have Asperger's. But, you always try to rise above. So I hope you guys enjoyed The Good Doctor. If you guys want to check out The Good Doctor, it is on Mondays, 10 p.m. on ABC. Until next time, stay regal.